Across Northeast Ohio,
We've had water probably worse than we've had in about 15 years. We've got basements that have about 8 foot of water all the way up to the ceilings in the basement. There's nowhere for the water to go right now.
residents are dealing with a soggy, flooded mess as torrential rains pound the region. Some seeing yet another round of flooding and feeling a sense of deja vu tonight.
It's again like 2 to 3 inches of water, just the sewer backup, and everyone on the streets having the same problem, it seems.
A tough night, a tough day. Good evening to you. Thanks for joining us.
Tonight, we are watching these people who are frantically trying to clean up from the torrential rain and storms that have caused so many problems throughout Northeast Ohio.
Let's take a look at Lorain County, where you can see what is left behind after rising water has caused the closure of the Lorain County Fair today. We have team coverage tonight. Neil Fisher is at the fair, and Kaitor Kay and Lindsey Buckingham are keeping an eye on some other areas impacted by flooding. But,
First, we want to go to Chief Meteorologist Betsy Kling. So, Betsy, I know the rain and storms aren't over, but as I understand it, and correct me if I'm wrong, different situation today than we saw last night. Yeah?
Yeah, I mean, timing is similar, but the mechanics of how all this is going to unfold is just a little bit different. We have a cold front that's triggering thunderstorm development to the north of us, and we'll be inheriting all of this later on tonight. We've been watching storms out by Milwaukee. Now we're starting to see storm development in mid-Michigan. This will continue to intensify. It is expected to grow, and it's all feeding off of just amazing amounts of energy being provided by the atmosphere. This is called convective available potential energy. Basically, it's the heat and humidity that is available to the thunderstorms once they get going. And you can see that this has been morphing. It's all moving in the flow of the atmosphere. And what I want you to see is how it is moving into Ohio. So we have conditions that are getting more favorable for thunderstorms to maintain once they begin to move. We have seen these thunderstorms just pop very quickly in mid-Michigan, and they went from nothing to severe in an hour or so. We're waiting for a watch to be issued in Michigan and far western Ohio. That should be coming very soon. Once the thunderstorms get going, they are expected to track to the southeast. That would bring them into our neck of the woods. So your short-term forecast tonight, look how the thunderstorms begin to expand and they grow, they intensify as they move farther southeast. This is 9 p.m. We should be seeing the thunderstorms on our western horizon. And as our late evening goes on, it will spread across northern Ohio and bring multiple threats to the area. We are talking about a high wind threat with all of this, 60, 70, maybe even 80 mile per hour winds, depending upon how these storms react. There is a slight risk for some tornadoes just because we have a line of thunderstorms and sometimes those can get really squirrely for us. But by and large, our biggest threat, and I know that, you know, the winds and the tornadoes and the hail is a lot sexier to talk about, but flooding is a big issue tonight because we are absolutely waterlogged. So the heavy rain threat will intensify as the thunderstorms intensify. We're going to really crank out a lot of rain from the storms once they do form. We do have that severe weather threat to talk about, but by the weekend we should be clearing out. That is some great news. We'll go hour by hour, talks through the specifics of tonight and take you into the weekend coming up in just a little bit. Now, we're going to go out to Neil Fisher in Lorain County, where, of course, they have been dealing with that heavy rain that came in. Neil, last night, some portions of Lorain County got 7 inches of rain. Just incredible.
Right, Betsy. Some of the folks here at the fairgrounds mentioned that to us, that their rain gauges picked up 6 to 7 inches. We saw that flooding here in the fairgrounds. Some vehicles and trailers submerged by the water. Folks are still cleaning up today. We actually know that the officials from the fairgrounds are meeting right now and throughout the hour to discuss whether or not they will go on with the fair tomorrow. That's still a game time decision. The main concern right now is this going to happen again. As you can see, some of the vehicles here at the fairgrounds getting picked up by tow trucks. They are damaged by these floodwaters. The floodwaters have receded quite a bit. We do know that, which is good news. But again, the main concern is what's going to happen later this evening. We know those who had livestock, those who had animals, and those who had exhibits here at the fairgrounds were able to come back today and check things out to make sure everything was okay. Again, officials hoping to have tomorrow go on, but the main concern right now is what will happen tonight. Russ, Christy?
All right, Neil Fisher, we appreciate it. Thank you.
In the meantime, residents in Perkins Township in Erie County are being allowed back in their homes tonight after being evacuated earlier today because of those rising floodwaters. This happened near Columbus Avenue and Lakeland Drive. The floodwaters kept rising, and Erie County Emergency Management did not think the area was safe. We were told that no one was hurt.